Hello friends, I am Manish Anand. The brings to you a daily analysis of the editorials carried in the five of India's top English newspapers. In today's newspapers, if you see broadly, we have taken three subjects which have been covered by the newspapers in their commentaries on the edit pages. They are the BJP's aggressive bid in Telangana, where the party held its national executive meeting, and the progress of the monsoon, while we have seen that a large tract of the land in the country hasn't yet received enough rains. So that shows uneven progress of the monsoon rains. And thirdly, the US President Joe Biden will be visiting the West Asia later this month, but there isn't much progress in the US-Iran talks, which was a poll promise of Biden in the election campaign. So we'll be broadly covering these three topics in today's analysis of editorials. For 3 days, the Bharatiya Janata Party held its fort in Hyderabad, Telangana, for its national executive meeting, first in true sense since the 2017 Bhubaneswar meet, as part of party's southern electoral push. Incumbent governments in Telangana and Tamil Nadu are most hostile to Prime Minister Narendra Modi, and the BJP hopes to wrest power in Hyderabad next year. Friends, this is why, because whenever Prime Minister Narendra Modi visits Tamil Nadu and Telangana, the political activists from the ruling parties there trend unpalatable terms against Modi, and even they give a miss to the customary ceremonies like the chief ministers welcoming the Prime Minister at the airport. So that protocol is also given a miss in these two states, and they are quite hostile to the BJP, which we have seen in the recent years. Indian Express and its southern sibling, the New Indian Express, the Times of India, and the Pioneer have commented on the BJP's Telangana meeting, which concluded day before yesterday, with the Prime Minister Narendra Modi's rally out there, in which he asked the party members to aggressively pan out across the country and build bases. While Indian Express's edit is just a news summary of what happened there in the meeting and details of that, which essentially lack in substance, the Times of India claims that the BJP will have its match in Telangana, as the party had seen in West Bengal, in Mamata Banerjee out there. The Pioneer noted that the BJP, while helmed by Modi and Amit Shah, has excised complacency from its ranks, reminding that the saffron outfit would still toil hard when it had just two Lok Sabha MPs in 1980s. That is the hallmark of the BJP, friends, that it works 24/7, 365 days a year, and Modi and Shah keep the party leaders and the workers on their toes, asking them to take up programs in their respective constituencies all around the year. For our immediate concern, Times of India edit is worth mentioning here, as the Delhi lists out the strength of K. Chandrasekhar Rao, the Chief Minister of Telangana. He is strong on delivery of welfare schemes while rallying anger in the state against the BJP, which essentially banks on the alleged non-procurement of parboiled rice. Friends, we have seen that the BJP in West Bengal also had run into a very formidable foe in Mamata Banerjee, who had her cadre behind her in politics. She was very strong on the street, and she was equally strong on welfare schemes, as is the case with KCR in Telangana. However, Indian Express and Times of India failed to go beyond the obvious, not digging deep in the state politics, besides missing out on a small size significance of the Telangana Assembly. Friends, there are only 119 assembly seats in Telangana. That makes the state assembly quite small. So that is very vulnerable to a fractured mandate and political instability if there are two stronger parties. The benefit for KCR is that the opposition space is completely decimated. The Congress has been annihilated. TDP and other parties have no relevance there. And to some extent, the BJP is trying to fill that vacuum. Coming back, the two Delhis failed to mention that while the BJP has some strength in the districts adjoining Maharashtra and Secunderabad to bat in the next year's polls, the saffron outfit has miles to cover in the southern parts of the state. Also, the BJP's claims of the pro-poor governance of the Modi government has an equal match in KCR, as he is equally populist with similar programs. The pioneer, while mapping the progress of the monsoon, has quoted a scientific study done in London between a lot of universities where they have tried to map the human incidence on climate change. And they have lamented that there is a lack of data in the mid and the low income countries, including South Africa and India, to establish linkages between the climate change and the human actions. The Delhi argued that while the monsoon has progressed well in a large part of the country, including Bihar, the Delhi argued that the monsoon has progressed well. There are a large part of the country like Bihar, Jharkhand, northwestern states, Tamil Nadu and Kerala, which are without sufficient rains, even now that we have entered into the first week of July. Indian Express has also commented on the progress of monsoon while noting that the good aspect is that the water levels in major reservoirs are 18.2% higher than their last 10 years average. That's the good news, friends. But we fail to understand that while we have reservoirs of water, why do the women in a large number of districts in Rajasthan, Maharashtra and Madhya Pradesh have to walk miles to fetch drinking waters in the month of April and May? Friends, our third topic is the US and Iran talks. The US President Joe Biden had promised to initiate talks with Iran during the election campaign. And the Hindu has reminded that there is no breakthrough yet. The sticking point, argued the Hindu, is the refusal of the US to lift the terrorist designation of the Islamic Revolutionary Guards Corps, a key player in the Iran power game. That guards, the friends, are part of the army of the Iranian National Forces. The 2015 agreement between the US and Iran, the Delhi noted, was the result of the painstaking efforts of the Barack Obama and the Rouhani administrations, which essentially cut off Iran's bid to acquire nuclear capabilities. However, friends, when Donald Trump became the president of the US, the talks between the two countries went into the back burner. Biden will be visiting West Asia later this month, and indeed he will have to rise above the Israeli lobbyists who are on the overdrive to sabotage mainstreaming of Iran, which is so crucial when the ongoing Russia-Ukraine war has taken the world into the arms of inflation. So friend, this we had in our daily analysis of the newspapers' commentaries on big issues of last day. I'll be back again with you tomorrow with the next edition of the commentaries, and you can share your feedback on how we are doing with our analysis, and also share with your friends the links, and do subscribe to the channel. Thank you so much.